Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are diving into one of the most fundamental concepts in SAP ABAP, database operations. Whether you are preparing for an interview, working on a real SAP project, or learning SAP ABAP from scratch, this video will give you a complete understanding of how to perform the main database operations like insert, update, delete, and modify directly on SAP database tables. We are looking at real examples using a sample database table, analyze each operations in detail, and write practical ABAP programs. So grab your notebooks and let's get started. In SAP ABAP, database operations play a vital role in handling business data stored in transparent tables. When applications created new records, change existing information, or remove outdated entries, ABAP uses OpenSQL statements to interact with the database. Among these, the most important data changing operations are insert, update, delete, and modify. Each serves a specific purpose, and understanding how they differ is essential for writing efficient and reliable ABAP programs. Before we jump into the operations, we need a table. We will be using a simple custom created database table. Let's call it Z product data. This table has a few basic fields including a primary key product ID. We will be using this table to demonstrate all our operations. Initially, we are understanding what is SY-SUBRC. Every OpenSQL statement returns a crucial system variable, SY-SUBRC. This tells us if the operations was successful. If SY-SUBRC is 0, the operation was successful. If SY-SUBRC is non-zero, it means the operation failed for a specific reason, like a record not being found or a primary key violation. We must always check SY-SUBRC after every database operation. We are starting with our first database operation, insert. Insert is the operation used when the objective is to create a completely new record in a database table. When a developer issues an insert statement, ABAP attempts to add the data as a new record. If a record with the same primary key already exists, the insert operation fails and raises an exception or return a failure message depending on how it is handled in the program. This makes insert suitable only when there is a guarantee that the data being added does not already exist. It is commonly used during data creation activities such as adding new materials, users, sales orders, or configuration entries. The insert statement is used to add one or more new rows into a database table. It will fail if a row with the same primary key already exists. Our first program is to insert a single record into the database. Initially, we check the table. So go to SE11 and open the table. Execute the table. There is no data present in the table. Go to SE38 and create a report program named ZPGM_insert. Here I already created the report programs. You can create the report program using the create button. You don't know how to create a report program, refer previous videos. In this ABAP code, we are inserting a single record into a custom database table called Z_product_data. First, we declare a work area ls product based on the table structure. Then we assign the value like product ID, product name, price, and stock quantity. Next, the insert statement adds the record into the database table. After the insert, we check the system variable SY-SUBRC. If it is 0, the record was inserted successfully and a success message is displayed. If it is not 0, it means the insertion failed, usually due to the duplicate primary key, and an error message is shown. So we can activate and execute the program. We can see that the success message will be appear. So go to check on the database table, go to SE11 and open the table and execute the table. We can see that first record is inserted successfully. We will go to the program to insert multiple records into the table. First we go to check the database table. Open T-code SE11 and check. Here only one record is present, that is 1001. We can see the changes after the multiple record insertion take place. So go to T code SE38 and create a report program. The goal of this program is to insert multiple records into the database table isProduct underscore data using an internal table. First, we declare an internal table LT products and a work area LS product with the same structure as the database table. Then we fill the work area with the product details like product ID, name, price, and stock quantity. After assigning the values, we use the append statement to add the data to the internal table, and then we clear the work area to preparing it for the next record. We repeat the same step to add another product into the internal table. Once all records are collected, we use the insert from table statement to insert all record into the database in a single operation. Finally, we check SY-SUBRC. If the value is 0, it means all records were inserted successfully and a confirmation message is displayed. Then we can active and execute the program. Go to transactional SE11 and execute the table. We can see multiple records 1002 and 1003 is inserted successfully. Next database operation is update. Update, on the other hand, is used when the intention is to change the contents of an existing record. An update statement only works if the record already exists in the database. If the specified primary key cannot be found, no update occurs and the database remains unchanged. Update modifies only specific field while keeping the primary key intact. Developers use update when record must be corrected or adjusted, such as modifying quantities, changing descriptions, or updating statuses. The update statement is used to change the values of existing rows. It only affects records that match your specific where clause. We will see the program to update existing record from the table. Go to check the existing record in the table. Initially, stock quantity of 1001 is 50. Go to SE38 and create the program is at PGM underscore update. The purpose of this program is to update existing data in the database table. The update statement increases the stock quantity by 10 for the product whose product ID is 1001. We add 10 to the existing stock. After executing the update, we check the SY-SUBRC. If the value is 0, it means the record was found and updated successfully, and a success message is displayed. If SY-SUBRC is not 0, it means the product ID does not exist in the table, and an error message is shown. We can activate and execute the program. Then go to check the table and we can see that the changes reflected in the table. We will see the program to update multiple records from the database table. Using T code SE11, open the table isProduct underscore data and execute the table. These are the records in this table. We can see the changes after the updation. So go to SE38 and create a program. First, we declare an internal table LT products and a work area LS product with the same structure as the database table. Then we fill the work area with the new values for an existing product. For product ID 1001, We update the product name, price, and store quantity. After setting the values, we append the record to the internal table and clear the work area. Next, we repeat the same process for the another product 1002 and add it to the internal table as well. Once all the updated records are ready, we use the update from table statement. This statement updates all matching records in the database in one single operation based on the primary key. Finally, we check SY-SUBRC. If the value is 0, it means the bulk update was successful and a success message is displayed. Otherwise, an error message is shown. Activate and execute the program. Go to check the table, open transaction code SC11 and execute the table. We can see that the values are updated successfully. The next database operation is delete. Delete performs removing records from the database. When delete is executed with a key or condition, all records that match that condition are permanently removed. This operation is typically used for clearing old data, archiving processes, cleanup activities, or removing invalid entries. Delete must be used with caution because once the data is removed, it cannot be retrieved unless database backups or spatial frameworks are in place. Proper authentication and data validation are therefore crucial before executing deletion logic. The delete statement permanently removes rows from a database table. Use this statement with extreme caution. Once deleted, data is gone. We will go to program to delete a specific row from the table. Before performing any delete operation, it is very important to check the table data. Go to SC11 and open the table first. We verify that the record with the product ID 1003 exists in the database table. Go to SC38 and we created an ABAP program to delete a single record. The delete from statement removes the record where the product ID is 1003. After the delete operation, we check the system field SY-SUBRC. If the value is 0, it means the record was found and deleted successfully, and a confirmation message is displayed. If SY-SUBRC is not 0, it means the record does not exist and an error message is shown. After this, activate and execute the program. Finally, we again check the database table after deletion to confirm that the record with the product ID 1003 has been permanently removed. Before performing a mass delete operation, it is always a best practice to check the table data first. Go to SC11 and open the table and execute the table. We can see that so many records present in the table. So go to T-code SC38 and create an ABAP program. The goal of this program is to delete multiple records at once from the database table using an internal table. First, we declare an internal table LT products and a work area LS products with the same structure as the database table. Then, we fill the work area with the primary key of the products we want to delete along with the related data. Each filled record is appended to the internal table and the work area is cleared before adding the next record. Once all records to be deleted are stored in the internal table, we use the delete from the table statement. This deletes the database records that match the primary keys present in the internal table. After the delete operation, we check SY-SUBRC. If the value is 0, it means the record were deleted successfully and a confirmation message is displayed. If the value is not 0, it indicates that some records were not found, could not be deleted. After checking the SY-SUBRC, activate and execute the program. Finally, we check the database table again after deletion to make sure the specified records have been removed. We see that there is only 1001 and 100 is present early in the table. After the multiple data deletion, the two records are deleted. So there is no data is available in this table. The next database operation is modify. The operation that often causes confusion among beginners is modify, which can act as both an insert and update depending on the situation. When modify is issued for a database table, the system first checks whether a record with the given primary key already exists. If it does, modify works exactly like update and changes the existing entry. If no records exist, modify behaves like insert and create a no row. This dual nature makes modify extremely useful when it is uncertain whether the record exists, such as during synchronization processes, data replication, or bulk operations. However, modify performs differently when used with the internal tables. So developers must clearly understanding the context. The modify statement is a hybrid operation that combines the functionality of insert and update. Modify checks if a row with the given primary key already exists. If the row exists, it performs an update. If the row does not exist, it performs an insert. We can go to the program to demonstrate how the modify statement works in SAP ABAP. First, go to transaction code SE38 and create a program to modify the record. First, we declare a work area ls product with the structure of the database table. In the first scenario, we provide details for product ID 1004, which does not already exist in the table. When we execute the modify statement, ABAP automatically inserts a new record because the primary key is not found. After the operation, we check SY-SUBRC and a success message is displayed. In the second scenario, we change the details for product ID 1001, which is already exist in the table. Here, the modify statement updates the existing record with the new product name, price, and stock quantity. Again, we check SY-SUBRC to confirm that the update was successful. After checking the SY-SUBRC, activate and execute the program. This program clearly shows that modify works as both insert and update depending on whether the primary key already exists in the database table. And open SE11 and open the database table and execute the table. We can see the changes. 1001 is updated using modify and 1004 is inserted using modify operation. Before running modify operation, it is very important to check the table data. So initially we go to T-code SE11, display the database table and verify which product records already exist. Then go to T-code SC38 and create a ABAP program to insert or update multiple records at once using the modify from table statement. First, we declare an internal table LT products and a work area LS product based on the structure of the database table. Then we prepare multiple products records. For product ID 1001, the record already exists, so the product name, price and stock quantity will be updated. The product ID 1005, the record does not exist, so it will be inserted as a new record.
For product ID 1003, if it already exists, it will be updated with the new values. All these records are appended to the internal table. Next, we execute the modify from table statement. This, this single statement automatically decides whether to insert or update based on the primary key of each record. After the operation, we check SY-SUBRC. If the value is 0, it means the bulk modify was successful. After checking the SY-SUBRC, activate and execute the program. Finally, we again go to T-code SC11, display the database table, and verify the records after execution. We clearly see which record were updated and which one are newly inserted. The key difference between update and modify lies in their behavior when the target record does not exist. Update only changes existing records and does nothing if the entry is missing, making it appropriate when the developer is certain that the database already contains a record. Modify, however, can either update or insert, meaning it automatically creates a record if it does not already exist. This makes modify more flexible but potentially risky when unintended insertions should be avoided. In summary, update changes the existing data, delete removes data, and modify intelligently. They decided between inserting or updating based on whether the record already exists. A strong understanding of these operations enables ABAP developers to build robust, efficient applications that interacts with the SAP database in a predictable and optimized way. And that brings us to the end of this complete tutorial on SAP ABAP database operations. We covered insert, update, delete, and modify with examples and best practices. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.